So you know how God will assign a destiny helper to you. You will have somebody come into your life at a certain time in life where you really need help, and that person will be able to help you from point A to point B. The devil also has assigned attackers to your life that when you get to a certain point in life, he will send his demonic spirits towards you in the form of people that will attack you at different levels in your life. This video is going to be specifically only focusing on the Destiny attackers because we know what a Destiny helper is and we know what they're here for. But if you do not understand that you will be assigned demonic spirits, meaning people that are specifically going to come into your life to attack you, you're not going to even know what you're up against. And when these situations happen, you take it personal because this person is going to come into your life and they are going to have basically a bounty on your head. No matter what you do, no matter what you say or not say, they are going to try their best to attack you. And what do I mean by attack you? Well, it depends on where you are in life. This could be a school teacher. This could be a coworker, a supervisor. This could be a family member. It really just depends on your specific situation. But there's going to be people that's going to come into your life and they have an assignment to attack you. So you take it personal because you know what kind of person you are. You know your actions, you know what you do, what you don't do, what you say, and what you don't say, right? And then there's going to be a person that's going to come in that's going to try to uproot everything. Everything that you've worked so hard to build, they're going to tear it down or attempt to tear it down. And I should have said that. They're going to attempt to tear it down. Because if God be for you, who can be against you? But if you do not understand what you're up against, you're not going to win the game. And what do I mean by win the game? There's a strategic way you have to deal with demonic spirits. You cannot allow your emotions to get the best of you. Even when you feel broken, you're in pain, you're humiliated, you're frustrated, there's still a strategic way you have to go about things in order to get certain things done. And when you're dealing with demonic spirits, people who already have their mind made up about you, they're not going to stop until they tear you down. You can't be moving off of emotions because when you move off of emotions, you're going to end up destroying yourself. So what do? You have to play the game. And what do I mean the game? Start documenting. It does not matter what was said, what was done if it's not on paper. That was something that was taught to me in nursing school. When you are with a patient, you write down everything that you did or did not do and why you did not do it so you can CYA. Cover your ass. When you are dealing with a demonic spirit, you need to have as much proof in black and white to back you up because it's hard for people to back you up if it's your word versus someone else's word, right? Especially if that person that is assigned to you to attack you has a good reputation with other people. Have you ever had somebody come into your life and they're always praising and talking about this one in particular individual, but when it comes to you, this person does not treat you the same? And it's almost hard for you to go tell people about this person because when you tell them, they're like, well, that doesn't sound like this person's character. Well, that person is very nice. That person is this. They start talking about that person's character as if that has anything to do with how you were treated. It's like the demonic spirit will build up a fan community, a support system, because the demonic spirit has already, in a sense, made a footprint in other people's lives. It doesn't matter how many people that they have portrayed themselves good to, go off of how people treat you. Don't let anybody talk you out of how you were treated. You know how you were treated. You know what you're up against. You know exactly what's happening. So in order to be able to beat them at their own game, you need to document everything. When you document everything, eventually, and I'm not saying right away because there's times where even when you take things to the attackers higher up, right? Maybe they're direct person above them, whoever that is, in whatever situation, you may not get nowhere because, again, the attacker has already build up a certain aura about them to other people. So other people is going to have a hard time believing you, right? But if you keep documenting, eventually the attacker is going to slip up. And how is he going to slip up? He's going to do something that can't be justified through somebody else's actions. Like somebody won't be able to back them up because they know if they back them up, they are going to be held accountable. And most people won't take the fall for other people. So once it gets to that point, it's like the attacker has no choice but to be addressed. Once they do something that's like so against the rules or over the top, and it's like, I can't support that, I can't back that up, I can't justify that, I don't want no parts in it, so I'm going to remove myself. And what's going to happen is the attacker's support system is going to dismantle itself. It's going to fall apart. They're not going to have anybody. The people who once backed them up are now going to be quiet. They may not necessarily defend you, but they're going to start being quiet because they're going to start seeing things like it's not adding up. And the more you keep your emotions in check, the more they can't try to portray you as emotional. That is the worst place you want to be, when you're moving off of emotions and then people can paint a narrative that you're mentally unstable. You're crazy. Oh, you're just making things up. You're exaggerating. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to paint whatever narrative they have to paint to criticize you and to torment you and to tear you down. That's their job. They are assigned to you. But if you play the game right and you keep your emotions in check, you document everything. And every time you get to a place where you keep having to report it, eventually, like I said, that demonic spirit is going to mess up because it's not perfect, because it's not Christ. So it has no choice but to really show its true colors. And like I said, people at that point will not be able to back them up. They will be able to at least look into it, because for a very long time you might be feeling like you're fighting a battle by yourself. Nobody's going to believe you. It's almost like you're building up all this evidence, and that's essentially what you're doing when you're documenting. You have to keep your emotions in check. That is the main thing that's going to make or break you when you're dealing with a destiny attacker. The moment you get too emotional and you give them the upper hand, they're going to run with it. Again, because they want to destroy you. They already see that God is in you. They do not like you. So their job is to destroy you. But when you keep your emotions in check, they also are confused because they assumed every little thing is going to make you crack. It's going to break you down. It's going to make you bend to their will and realize that they're in charge. But when you show them no emotion, you don't give them the satisfaction, and you document everything, I promise you, in the long run, you will win. They will be defeated because that's how God had it set up. You can't allow yourself to get emotional, no matter how hard it is. And it's very difficult to keep your composure when somebody is attacking your character, when somebody is out to get you and trying to paint a narrative and literally will not stop until they destroy you. It's very hard to sit there and keep your emotions in check, but I promise you, if you do that, you will win the game.